Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if this is your first time, welcome. So as you may have seen by the title, today I am doing a K-drama themed video for all my K-drama lover girls and boys out there. So I just want to do a little tiny disclaimer before I start this. This is just my opinion. This is going to be based on my opinion. These are not facts. So please don't hate me if I don't like a certain show that maybe you liked, or if there is something that you are interested in seeing but I give a bad review on it. Please still do look for yourself, because I may not like it but you may like it. Just because I didn't like a certain K-drama, or I didn't vibe with it, or I didn't like the story or how it ended, whatever, it does not mean that it's a bad K-drama. These are opinions, not facts. I'm just saying my opinion, why I liked it, why I didn't like it. I'm not saying it's good, it's bad. I'm saying I liked it, I didn't like it, okay? Disclaimer is done. Please don't be offended with anything I say. Again, it's just my opinion. And of course, I respect if anyone else has different opinions. There's some in here that I didn't really enjoy, but my best friends really liked. So it's fine if we have different opinions. Let's all respect our different opinions. And these are not facts, just my opinion. Without further ado, I will show you the K-drama list that I have. This is obviously based on K-dramas that I have seen, and I think this is the order that I saw them. I can't remember for sure 100% if this was the order that I saw them, but I think so. Even if it's not 100% accurate, it's not that far-fetched from the order that I actually saw them. So I want to rate them in the order that I saw them. Obviously, this list just contains the K-dramas that I've seen. So there are a lot of K-dramas that are not included here. So if people really enjoy this, maybe I will do a part 2, 3, whatever, and I will continue to do this throughout my journey of watching K-dramas. So I'll do my best to just give you a very small description of the K-drama. I'm gonna Google this. This is not gonna come out of my head. So I'm just gonna Google the synopsis of each of these K-dramas and I'm gonna read it to you. So yeah. So the first one that I have on my list, I'm not sure it can be considered a K-drama. It is a Korean show, but I'm not sure it categorizes as a K-drama. I still put it in the list because it's a Korean show and it's the very first one that I watched. So I think almost everyone knows Squid Game, but I'm still gonna read a little synopsis for you. Hundreds of cash-strapped players accept a strange invitation to compete in children's games. Inside, a tempting prize awaits with deadly high stakes. So in my opinion, Squid Game is really good. I'm still waiting on the season 2, but I'm gonna give it an A, not an S, because I don't want to start banging with an S immediately, you know? And I think there are other K-dramas that I enjoyed watching a lot more than Squid Game, even though it is really good and I recommend everyone watching it. It is more of a violent show. It's not one of those traditional romance dramas that Koreans usually do. The next one is Snowdrop with my girl Jisoo from Blackpink in your area. When a blood-soaked man bursts into the dormitory of a women's university in Seoul, the female protagonist will go against her better judgment and risk being expelled to hide the man from his attackers and tend to his wounds. However, the man has a harrowing secret that threatens to put her friends' and family's safety at risk, and the two young lovers will have to work together to overcome the obstacles. For me, an okay K-drama. Maybe it's because it was the first one that I watched. I was expecting a little bit more, but some of the plots are very inconsistent in my opinion and just frustrating at times. So I will rate this at a B. It's not that I didn't like it, but I also didn't absolutely love it, you know? So I will keep it neutral. Would I watch it again? Probably not. But would I watch it if I hadn't watched it ever for a first time? Yeah. Next is gonna be Business Proposal. So, Business Proposal is a South Korean romantic comedy that tells the story of Shin Hari, an employee who accepts to go on a blind date in place of her friend, but finds out that her date is actually her boss. So, this one I will rate an A because it is so hilarious. I loved watching this. I was laughing my butt off. This is one of the K-dramas that I always recommend first when someone is getting into K-drama, just so they get a feel of what the style usually is like. For me, it's really, really funny, and I feel like it's just spot on the comedy and the romance. Whoo! I really like it, so it's gonna be an A. Still not one of the best, but very, very, very funny. I really, really liked it, so it gets an A for me. Would recommend. So if you're looking into something to start off, if you want to laugh but you also like romance, Business Proposal is really good in my opinion for that. So yeah, very cool, very funny. Next is gonna be What is Wrong with Secretary Kim, and that one was actually recommended to me by my best friend Shanna. Okay, so I just realized it's gonna be a little hard to pronounce some of these Korean names, but I'm learning Korean right now, so I'm gonna try to not butcher these names, but I'm sorry if my pronunciation is a little off. Lee Young-jun is the vice chairman of a major corporation. His world is shaken when one day his highly capable secretary, Kim Mi-soo, announces that she is resigning from her position after 9 years. Young-jun decides to do whatever he can to persuade Mi-soo to change her mind. This is gonna be a controversial one, I feel like, because I know this is a really loved K-drama in the community of at least the people that I've met that like K-dramas. But for me, this gets an okay B rating. I don't know, I liked the story, I liked the plot, but for me personally, again, this is just my opinion, it just felt a little bland. I don't know. It felt really stretched. Sometimes the characters didn't make sense, like the way they were reacting about stuff, and like just I didn't have the best time watching it. For me, sometimes it would get a little boring and I would look the other way and just not pay that much attention, and usually that is not a good sign when I'm watching something because it's not grasping my attention fully, which is fine. Again, it's just my opinion. I'm not saying that it's a bad K-drama. It's just, for me, it was just okay. Would I watch it again? Nope. Would I watch it a first time if I hadn't watched it before? Sure. I already recommended this one to my mom as well. She's been getting into K-dramas, but she hasn't watched it yet. So yeah, maybe look for it for yourself and see the trailer and see if you think you will like it and have a go and watch it. And maybe leave your comment down below if you enjoyed Secretary Kim or not, or if you thought that it was kind of okay. Again, I'm not saying that it's bad or anything. I just didn't really vibe with it, I think. Let's move on with the next one that I feel, again, it's gonna be controversial. It's Forecasting Love and Weather. Forecasting Love and Weather is an office melodrama that depicts work life and love life of the people working in Korea Meteorological Administration, which is hotter than tropical nights and more indispensable than local heavy rains. So, this one is gonna get a C from me. I am so sorry to everyone that enjoyed this. I would not watch this again, and personally would not recommend to friends because it was very boring for me. Very boring, extremely just no emotion all the time, weird storyline. I didn't get if they liked each other or not. All the time it was just weird. they didn't really respect each other's boundaries at a lot of time, which I guess they're portraying relationship issues. I get it, and I get that they're portraying a relationship in work, which is not easy to deal with either. Just weird for me, and the way that it ended also felt very weird. So for me, I didn't like it very much. Again, I'm gonna keep saying this every time I give a B, C, or D rating. I'm not saying any of these are bad. Please don't hate me. Go watch them for yourselves. They are all very well made. The actors and actresses in all of these are all amazing. I'm just giving my opinion if I enjoy the show or not, and if I recommend any of these to my close friends or not. So please don't hate me for it. I'm just sharing my opinion that nobody asked for in this little corner of the internet that I like to call my channel. So please don't hate me for it. Next one is gonna be Mask Girl. Mask Girl is about an office worker who is insecure about her looks and becomes a masked internet personality by night until a chain of ill-fated events overtakes her life. Mask Girl is gonna be the first one to get a D rating from me. I do think it is a very different K-drama. I do think it's a very different story. The idea of it is very good, and I liked that they did a drama about it, and I liked that they started the conversation about these kinds of situations. I'm not gonna give spoilers. If you want to know what I'm talking about, you have to go watch it. I saw it because it was going around viral on the internet, so I decided to watch it. I wouldn't watch again. It's just not my typical kind of show. But I think that it's a good conversation starter. You have to watch it to know what I'm talking about. Certainly depicts beauty standards in a very boom in your face kind of way. It does not censor anything. So if you're used to watching censored stuff in K-dramas, this does not censor anything. Next one is Duna. I think that's how you pronounce it. A college student navigates life in school while dealing with a unique predicament. He is living with a beautiful former K-pop idol. I actually watched this because I read the sign-ups and I thought it was interesting to see how they would depict K-pop idols in K-dramas. I know there are a few more K-dramas that involve K-pop idols, but I don't think I've seen any. And this for me is an okay K-drama. I give it a B rating. I think she is really cool. Lead female character is really cool. But I think the romance triangle they tried to do for me was a little weird and didn't sit very well. And I also got really mad at the ending. I don't want to give spoilers, but it just didn't quite satisfy my needs as a viewer. Next is Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. My mom is actually watching that one right now. A big city dentist opens up a practice in a close-knit seaside village, home to a charming jack-of-all-trades who is her polar opposite in every way. And this is like a comedy romance. You will laugh a lot if you watch this as well. For me, I will give it a B just the same because I didn't absolutely love it. I didn't absolutely hate it. It was funny, but for me it was kind of like an okay K-drama. My mom is currently watching this one, and so far I've been asking her, what do you think about it? Do you like it? I always do that whenever she watches K-dramas, and she so far has had the same opinion as me. So yeah, it's a romance story about these two characters. It's funny. You will laugh a little bit, but at the same time, it's like that's all it is. And I think for me to be able to rate it a little bit higher, that has to be tension, you know? I need to be able to finish every episode and be like, what's gonna happen next? I can't wait till morning. I have to see this now. That's when I know I'm gonna rate it an A or an S. And for this one, it was just not the case. So yeah. Next is King the Land. King the Land tells the story of Guwon, who is the heir of the King Group, a luxury hotel, who was thrown into an inheritance war, and Chun Sarang, a hotelier, is that how you pronounce it? Hotelier? Who always has a smile on her face till she meets Guwon. This one gets an S for me. This had me grasping for more every single episode, and by far it has been the K-drama that made me laugh the most. When I tell you, I would go to the gym with Felipe last year and we would be running on the treadmill and I would be watching King the Land on the treadmill and I would laugh. I would burst out laughing while running on the treadmill at the gym, and people would be just like staring at me, and Felipe would be just like, oh my god, I don't know her. This is so funny, and I'm usually not a very romance kind of girl, but since I've gotten into K-dramas, that has been slowly changing. I have been discovering that after all these years, I am actually a romance type of girl. I just didn't know what type of romance I was into. It's K-dramas. And this one is on the romance. It's so good. There's no itty bitty fights. It's just pure love. It's so spot on the romance, and it's so funny. I don't know why it made me laugh so much, but it is one of my favorites. I rate it an S. I recommend it to everyone. I made my mom watch it. She loved it. I made my friends watch it. They loved it. Every time I meet a new person that likes K-dramas, I always say, have you watched King the Land? If not, you have to watch it. It's so funny. And if you enjoy romance, you're going to like that a lot. And it's so good. I am right now really trying to convince my boyfriend to watch one K-drama with me, and this is the one that I want to make him watch. I know that it's not his type of stuff, but I want him to watch King the Land so bad. It's so good. I loved it so much. One of my favorite. It gets an S for me. I have nothing else to say. Go watch it. You will know why I rated an S. It's so freaking funny. The next on my list is My First Love, and this drama tells the story of 5 youths and their messy encounters with the concept of their first love. Yoon Tae-oh is a college student whose friends, a college dropout, a runaway family friend, and his longtime childhood friend decide to unexpectedly move into his house due to their own individual reasonings, and now they must all learn to live together and learn how to love. So this one sounded really interesting when I first saw it, and this one actually has 2 seasons. I think it's one of the very few K-dramas that I've personally watched that has multiple seasons, and I have to say this one is gonna get a D from me. I'm sorry. I really liked the first season, and then for me the second season just no. I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I had watched the first season and stopped there. I don't understand the ending. I don't get the plot twist. And if you've watched it before, you probably feel the same. When I finished watching this, I went to Reddit to see online people's opinions on this, and everyone that I saw was agreeing with me. The plot twist was just weird, made no sense at all, rushed, and it just felt off in the end. They didn't build that plot twist, you know? It was just off. So, for me, it just gets a D. I don't recommend it. I didn't really like the second season. For me, I think I would have just been better off watching only the first season. But hey, see for yourself. Maybe you'll like it. So the next one on my list is again a little bit of a different K-drama. This is more on the action side, and it is called The Vagabond. And this is about a stuntman who dreams of becoming a world-famous action actor. His career is floundering while he tries to take care of his nephew as his guardian. His nephew takes a flight to Morocco for a taekwondo exhibition, but the flight crashes. The synopsis ends here, but I think it's important to say that this is about a terrorist attack. Eventually, this stuntman actor that is uncle to his nephew wants to find out who the terrorists are and wants essentially justice to be made. So the K-drama is about that. I am gonna rate it a B, and the only reason I'm gonna rate it a B is because it just ended abruptly. I tried to see online if they were gonna make a second season. I think they planned to do a second season, but then they didn't. I'm not sure how it is right now at the moment. I watched this last year. I actually liked it. It was a different K-drama. I really was liking the action and the vibes and the tension between the characters, and then it just ended out of nowhere. That's the only reason I'm gonna rate it a B. It's because it just ended very randomly, and I didn't understand the ending that they did. They definitely, I think, planned to do a second season to explain that, but then they didn't, so I was just left with a lot of questions. But I'm gonna rate it a B because I was enjoying the vibe, and then it just ended kind of abruptly. So I hope that they make a second season. If they do, I am gonna watch it because, again, I was really enjoying the show and how it was written and all of the action and tension between the characters. So hopefully they will pick this up and do another season because I want to know what happens after. Next is Além do Guarda-Roupa. It has a Portuguese name, but it's a K-drama. So the plot is Carol is a 17-year-old teenager, daughter of a Brazilian dancer and a South Korean who lives in a challenging journey. Oh, my light battery just went out. I'll charge it up in a second. Let me just finish the synopsis. Who lives a challenging journey of overcoming acceptance and self-knowledge after the death of her mother and the abandonment of her father, who decides to return to South Korea. So this one is gonna get a C for me as well. I enjoyed it because it was different. It was in Brazil. They were speaking Brazil and I'm Portuguese. I thought it was really cool that they are also like talking about Brazil, because I know Brazil has a huge K-drama and K-pop fandom, so I think it was really cool to do that and to merge the two cultures. I really like the aspect of that. But the story was just weird. Like, there's this K-pop band that just appears in her closet out of nowhere. They don't ever, I think, explain why that happened. Obviously, it's like supernatural thing. Nobody's just gonna come out of your closet unless you're in Monsters Inc. or something. But it's just I don't know. I'm gonna try to be quicker with these because I'm almost at 1 hour recording. I need to you know, yeah. Destined with You. A lawyer bound by a centuries-old curse becomes entangled with a civil servant who holds the key to his freedom. So, this one is gonna get an A from me. I really like it. I really liked it. I also recommend this to everyone. My mom has already watched it. She really liked it as well. I was like, please, more. And I just wanted them to be together in the end. It was so hard for them to be together, and then the characters don't communicate with each other. You know, for me to enjoy a show, I need to have all of this tension to make me watch. Otherwise, I'm gonna rate it B and lower. But this for me was I'm stuttering. It was an A. It doesn't get an S because it was not spot on like King the Land and some other that I'm gonna put in there. But I really liked it. So definitely go watch it. I recommend it to you. Go watch Destined with You if you like romance and a little bit of drama in the story. There is a little bit of drama. So yeah, go watch it. Next one on the list is My ID is Gangnam Beauty. Mirei begins to get teased once more and labeled as Gangnam Beauty for getting plastic surgery. Kyung-suk becomes the one person that stands up for her. In the process, Mirei begins to recover her lost confidence and discovers that true beauty is not about what's on the outside. So this one I'm also gonna rate a D. It is surrounding kind of the same theme as Mask Girl. It is about beauty standards, and although I think it's very good that they are doing shows about that, it strikes up a conversation. I just didn't like it. Very boring for me. I thought most of the characters' behavior was just very weird all the time, and I didn't understand how they couldn't see through the main mean character. So just very boring for me. Didn't really enjoy the experience. I just wanted it to be over with so I could watch another K-drama, and obviously that is not a good sign for me. Again, it's just my opinion. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed it. For me, it was just not that funny and just didn't really vibe with it, so gets a D from me. Next is Doom at Your Service, and this one is about the female protagonist that lives a fairly ordinary life until she stumbles into an unexpected fate and ends up signing a 100-day contract with Mule Monk, risking her everything. So this one is about cancer. Essentially, the main female protagonist has cancer, if I remember correctly, and she meets Doom. Doom as in like Doom, the personification of Doom. And she makes a deal with him, and essentially the story is about that. I am gonna rate that one as an A. I really, really liked it. I actually cried. I really like it. I'm not gonna rate it an S, but I also really recommend this one. Just be prepared to cry a little if you are a little sensitive to certain things about life. Very good. I really liked it. Next is My Demon. My Demon is a fantasy romance K-drama created by Choi Ha-il. Oh, I'm sure I butchered that. I'm so sorry. The series revolves around a workaholic CEO who thinks that she has no time for romantic entanglement in her life, but when a demon loses his powers and comes to work for her as a recruit, things change and they both fall in love with each other. I am gonna rate it a B. I watched it because there was a lot of hype around it on the internet as well. It's funny, but for me it doesn't quite reach the A category. Some of the episodes were a little frustrating for me to watch, and I think there's a lot of repetitive situations happening along the multiple episodes of the series. So yeah, it gets a B for me. Next one on my list is Sweet Home, which is also a different K-drama. It's more on the horror type of K-drama, which it's the only one I've seen from this style. A loner high school student who lost his entire family in a terrible accident is forced to leave his home and has to face a new reality where monsters are trying to wipe out all humanity. Now he must fight against all odds to try and race against the clock to save what is left of humanity before it's too late. I think this is based off a tune, right? I don't really know how to pronounce it. Webtoon, I think that's the name. I think this is based off of something like that. And I watched it because my older brother read that webtoon and he really liked it. So when he saw this on Netflix, he told me the webtoon is really good, so maybe you should like watch it for yourself and see if you like it. And I did. This has 2 seasons as well, I think, and now they're gonna make a 3rd season, or it's 1 season and they're gonna make a 2nd season, something like that. And I did. I'm gonna rate it. I'm between B and C. I don't really know if I should put a B or C. I think I'm gonna rate it C. It's just very different. Don't think I really like horror stuff. If you know me personally, you know that I'm addicted to horror stuff. I watch a lot of horror movies all the time, a lot of horror series. I play a lot of horror games with my friends. But it was very different, and I didn't quite, I mean, I really liked the 1st season, and then it just got weird. I think that's what it is. I think there's 2 seasons and they're making a 3rd season. I really liked the 1st season. I thought it was different. The monsters were kind of weird with the CGI and all that, but you know, you can look past that. The 2nd season for me was just weird, and my brother told me that it's completely different from the webtoon as well, that they changed a lot of things. I think in the webtoon they always stay in the building, which it's what I really liked in the first season. They never venture outside, and in the second season that's kind of what happens, and it just gets weird, and I got so lost between the history of all of these characters and how they get along with each other. I just got lost. Next on my list is Run On. This is a love story between a popular sprinter and a translator. Due to a case, he quits the sport and then he begins to work as a sports agent. This is the synopsis I picked. Really? Isn't that a better one? Yeah, I'm gonna give it a B. Again, very okay kind of K-drama for me. Didn't hate it, didn't love it. I didn't have anything else to watch and I was curious about this one on Netflix, so I just picked it and watched it. But yeah, that's not one of my favorites. It was just okay. And finally, last but not least, Queen of Tears. A miraculous story is told where a married couple go through a crisis. He works as the legal director for a conglomerate queens group, and he is the most successful person to have come from his hometown village, and he is the pride of that village. She is the daughter of the family that owns and operates the Queen group, and she is known as the arrogant queen at the Queen's department store. So you know where I'm gonna take this. It's an S. I just finished watching this like 2 weeks ago. This is the most recent one that I've seen. And I actually had to take breaks in between episodes because this is so good, but it's sad. Sad. I cried every single episode. Every single episode I was sobbing like a baby. Why? How? How can you do that to me? How can you put that emotion in my body through, like, it's just so good, so good. So freaking good. This one was actually the other way around. My mom watched it first and she recommended it to me. She was constantly like, have you watched it? Have you watched it? Have you watched it? And I'm like, no, mom, I haven't watched it. And then I finally watched it. I'm like, oh my God, it's so sad. And then me and my mom would just be crying together. And it's, oh my God. I'm not gonna spoil it, but you should definitely watch this one. I recommend all the time now. Recent conversations I've had, I've made, I don't even know how many videos I made to my best friends sobbing, saying you have to watch this, please. And they're scared to watch it now because I cry all the time, but I'm a very sensitive person. I cry a lot, okay? Anyway, I'm filled with emotion right now because I really want you to watch it. If you have not watched Queen of Tears, you should. It's really good, but prepare to cry because you're gonna cry. It's so sad, but it's so good. Anyway, guys, that is my list. Again, I just want to say these are my opinions, not facts. Remember to go check it for yourself because you might enjoy it. That was the video. Let me know if you like it. Remember to leave a like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Help a little girl out. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye bye. See you guys later in another video.